Hi guys, welcome to another Learn Electronics repair video. Yesterday I made a repair video with this Radeon RX 5500 4GB GPU, and it's now working fine. But as one of the tests I made while diagnosing the problem with this, I had to run a memory test to see if I could figure out if it had faulty memory. This card was crashing once the drivers loaded in Windows. That turned out not to be the case, but I had to do that. And I did this using a Linux script from a bootable USB stick, Linux USB. And I did say that I would make a specific video, this one, to show you guys how to make this Linux bootable USB and a little bit more about running the memory test from it. So first of all, we need to set up our USB stick. This is quite simple. You just need a USB stick that has nothing of interest on, because this is going to format it. And then we need the ISO, which is the actual Linux operating system, and some software to actually make the bootable USB. So let's have a look at what we need and download the various programs. The first thing we're going to need is some software to create a bootable USB drive, and Rufus is a very well-known free program for doing this. So we need to download Rufus. I already have one downloaded, but this you can get from rufus.ie/en if it's English. I'll put this link in the description to this video. So we need this software to create the bootable USB, and then we need an ISO file with the actual Linux operating system on. We get this from archlinux.org. Archlinux is very suitable to running this software. It has everything we need as an environment for running our test software, so I recommend you use Archlinux, and you can download it from here. Again, I will put the link in the description to this video. You can download it from the torrent, or you can see there are mirror sites all over the world, so you have no problem downloading this. It's about 826 megabytes. So we need those two, and then we need the actual scripts. Now the scripts you can find on GitHub and elsewhere, also linked from a few forums, but to make life very easy for you, I've put them both onto my Google Drive. So I'll just give you the link again in the description. You can download them from the Google Drive. And we have two scripts. We have dmgg and we have memtest. So these are the four things we need to make our USB stick. I've placed a blank-ish USB stick in the PC. So let's create our Linux operating system. So first we're going to run Rufus. And it's already picked up the USB stick, 16 gigabytes USB, it's found that. We need to select the ISO that we want to put in there. So I will just find it on my computer here. And we can see the ISO. So we open the ISO and we're ready to go. Start. It's now just saying that it's going to override the current contents. I'm just going to go with the default option here. Okay. Now it's going to say all data will be destroyed. Fine. So this will now create our bootable USB. It won't take too long, but I can just pause the video while it's doing this. Our USB drive is now ready, so we can close Rufus. And in fact it's now asking us if we want to open the folder, so we can open the folder, and this is our Linux operating system on the USB bootable. So now we need to copy the two script files. Just pick them up from the folder on the PC and just drop them into the root folder of the USB. I will just add, I did not create these script files. These are the work of other people, so credit to where credit is due. The two scripts, I'll just briefly tell you. dmgg will test on Navi based AMD cards, and it will actually tell you which chip or chips, memory chips, are actually faulty. Memtest is more of a generic test, and it will tell you if there are any errors or not, but it won't directly tell you which chip is causing the errors. But we can have a look at both of them. So now we just need to put the USB into our test rig, connect to GPU, and let's test it. To run the software, you can either connect the monitor to the graphics card under test, or you can use the onboard video on your motherboard. The problem with using the graphics card under test is A, that it may not give a picture with faulty memory, or the picture may be very corrupted, artifacts all over it, or lines all over it, so you can't actually read the screen properly. There's another problem. You may find that the Linux USB does not boot. It starts to boot, and then after a few lines it hangs up. If that happens, it's because the Radeon card is not being detected properly on Linux. So you're going to need a motherboard that has integrated graphics, and we can go into the on this one. Yours will be similar, no doubt. Peripherals, and here we have a few options in peripherals. Obviously this will vary somewhat depending on your motherboard BIOS, but on this one I have an option for integrated Intel processor graphics, which needs to be enabled, and then initial display output needs to be set to use the integrated graphics. This then means that the graphics card you are testing is being used as a secondary device. We don't need to connect to the video connector on that, and we should still be able to detect that in Linux. If you have a graphics card that will not detect in Windows and will not detect in Linux either, the chances are that faulty memory is not your problem. Now we need to boot from our USB stick. So I've switched the computer on. There's no hard drive attached on mine, just the USB, and it's asking me to run. So I can wait for the 10 seconds, or I can just press enter, and that will start the installation, the setup of Linux. If it's not getting this far, so you have a few lines of text on the screen and it hangs up, then the chances are you are connecting to the device under test, the GPU, and you need to connect your monitor to the onboard integrated graphics. So you do need a motherboard integrated graphics to run this effectively. And also in the BIOS that I showed you, you have to set the integrated graphics to be the primary display. We now have our command prompt. I've just hit enter there, so we can start typing in. We don't need to log in, we're already logged in. Root at hard drive, so I think it's just looking at my network a little bit still. We can just not worry too much about that. So first of all, we need to know the name of the USB device that we just booted from. So to do that, we go to fdisk command, type fdisk -L, and you will see the device, and on here you can see disk/dev/SDA 14.45. that's my 16 gig USB stick. So we can now mount this device, so we'll just type in mount, and then the name of the device that it found, in our case /dev/SDA. This might vary depending on yours. Then /MNT, and it's telling us that it's already mounted. Now we can change directory to the place that we put the script files. So cd is the command to change directory, and then the folder, the directory we want is /run/archiso/bootmnt. This is effectively the root directory. Okay, so we can go to there, and we're in that folder. You can see the prompt has changed. We can see the name of the folder. If we now type ls for list, and we can see the various things inside. Then you will see dmgg and you will see memtest.py. So that's our software scripts we want to run. Now we need to find the graphics card. The command for this is lspci. Minus V is verbose, so it will give us a lot of information. And if I run this, it will just scroll up off the screen so fast you probably can't see it. You'll only see the last part. So if we put a pipe command, that's the little 2 vertical lines. I'll just find this on my keyboard. It's that one. It shows like a vertical line, kind of like a stretched colon. There's actually a gap in between them. It doesn't come out too well on this screen, always on the camera. So that's the pipe command, and then we can put less. So this will send the script, the data from this command to the less command. That means we can actually scroll it on the screen itself and look at it. So we run this, and now you can see that we're finding stuff on the screen. So if I can hit enter, we can scroll down, and we're looking for the GPU. So we can just go through all these various devices until we find it. Okay, we can see AMD Navi 10 now. A little bit further. And this one, you can see now it says Radeon RX 5500. Okay, so this is our actual device. And what we need to know is the memory address. So you can see here that the memory, prefetchable memory, if you look, we have prefetchable and non-prefetchable. The prefetchable memory starts at address E with 7 zeros following it. So that's the address that we want. So we can continue with the test. I'll just keep hitting enter to scroll the bottom and Q to quit out of that. Okay, now we can run our test. I'll just move the screen so you can see it. There we go. So to run the test, we have to use Python, which is a programming language basically. So we type Python 3, then the name of the test. So we're going to run dmgg. Okay, .py. And then we have some arguments. So the first argument is the address of the card, which is E, followed by 7 zeros. The second argument is how much memory do we want to test. So let's go for 10. This is a megabyte. So that's 10 megabytes starting at that address. And the last one is a number of RAM chips on our graphics card. Maybe 4, maybe 8. It's commonly 8. We'll put 8. I haven't actually counted on this one. So that's the number of physical memory chips on the board. And now we just press enter to run the test. Okay, and you can see it's telling us that the number of 40 chips is 0, no 40 chips found, and that the number of errors is 0. So this is a good card. If you had a fault, it would actually tell you now the number of one or more chips that the software believes are faulty. I'll show you now how you would work out, or how you would know which chip it is from the number it gives you here. To work out which chip is faulty using dmgg, we have the graphics card with the GPU, and you need to find out which coordinate is pin 1. It'll be marked on the board, normally on the GPU or on the silk screening. Once we know that, we can then work out which chip is a problem. We entered as a parameter the number of chips on the board. Let's say ours had 8 chips, which is probably the most common for these type of graphics cards. So we'll put our 8 chips on the board like so, however they may be arranged. Okay, so starting from the corner, which is pin 1, you come diagonally opposite to this corner, and from here you go anti-clockwise. Okay, now unlike NVIDIA chips, they're numbered slightly different. You may know that on an NVIDIA chip these two are bank A, and that's the same for these cards: A, B, C, D. That's the 4 banks, yeah. But NVIDIA goes A1, A0, B1, B0. These don't. These go A0, A1, B0, B1, C0, C1, D0, D1. So that's the numbering of the chips. And the dmgg, when it says chip 5 is faulty or similar, it's counting from here. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how it's counting them, okay? So if it says chip 5 is faulty, it's that one. Chip 6 is this one. dmgg may say chip 5 or chip 6. It might not be able to tell you which one. Also, as a caveat, the guy who wrote it does say it can be wrong about the chip number that's faulty, but it will always be correct about the number of chips that are faulty. 1 chip, 2 chips, and so on. So that's how you determine, using that script, which chip is faulty. As I mentioned before, this test, dmgg, is for Navi based AMD cards. But the other script on here is actually more generic, and it will test pretty much any graphics card. So we can have a look at that one as well. So the other one is called memtest. So again, we use Python 3. I can just come down here and just actually edit this to memtest. This is the memtest script. This has 2 arguments. So it only has the start address of the card and the number of megabytes of memory you want to test. So we have to enter on here, and you can see it didn't run the test because I made a spelling mistake. I put nen test. I've actually got the screen where it's a bit awkward for me to actually see, so let's put the correct name in there and let's run again. Give it a few moments. Okay, so it's saying before errors, following past. If it's before errors, if there were any errors, then they would be listed there as address and data errors. And following past would say following failed. So it would say before errors, a list of errors, following failed. Ours is before errors, nothing, following past. So again, that tells us this is a good graphics card. With the memtest script, I've done some reading. I haven't found a definitive method to use the address data it gives you to work out which chip. I saw one method which basically involved deliberately disabling 1 chip at a time, running the test again and seeing if you have more errors than you had before you disable the chip. So the idea is that when you disable the chip that's already faulty, you don't see any more errors, or you don't see as many more errors than when you try in turn one at a time disabling others. That seems a bit of a long way round. So if any of you guys know more about that particular script, and I'm sure some of you probably do, then please post in the comments below and let us all know. From what I can see, this test software, this dmgg scripts, will work on Polaris and Navi based Radeon cards. But exactly which models it supports, I don't know in total. I guess it's a matter of myself and you guys trying it on a number of cards, and let's see what it actually supports. So for me, that was quite a short video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You now have another toy to play with when you're repairing graphics cards, and I hope that some of you have some success with this software. And I will see you all soon on another Learn Electronics Repair video. Ciao for now, guys.